Hello, welcome to Top of the World. Dogs, it's time for sawmilling. Woodland Mills is sitting there. It has had a small run up. I have done a couple of bits here just to get them out of the way, but now I want to crack into this big pile. Here's I have actually put my final hand-built extension on that. So it sits on like a hand-built home base there. So I've got 1, 2, 3 actual Woodland Mill sections. And then I put this bit on the end, firstly just in case I need it, but now the sawmill can run in here in the winter, and that's where I wanted it. That's why I built it like that, so that I can run that head all the way along underneath there, and then she's fully protected. How did this wean fare over winter? Well, perfect. I came in here with my battery, started my sharpener up, and yeah, just perfect. Everything is perfect. All right, let's warm her up then, tension the blade, and start picking logs off of there. The last 2 rows there, what's on the bottom there, right, they were just the odd ones lying around, albeit you got 10-inch and 7-inch mixed together. So the first row I did were all bottom sections, and I've got 250mm or 10-inch, right, taken out of that. And then the next row up is the next section. So you've got the bottom 15 feet, 5 metres, and then you've got the next section, 15 feet, 5 metres. Out the bottoms I'm getting 10-inch, out the top, so I'm getting 7 inch. That's 170 millimeters square, and that's 250 millimeters square. I'm not cutting them that size specifically. That's the maximum size I can get out of those sections of trees. And here's the thing, this is what I always talk about. You can only do it like that if all the trees are the same size. And they are. And of course they are. They have to be. So if you was to draw a diagram of how to maximise all the different bits of wood you can get out of each tree, right? Somebody who didn't know what they were saying would say, oh, that's funny, not all the trees are the same size. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. So a pine tree that's planted with a lot of other pine trees in the same place at the same time will be the same size. The trees are the same size. So the bottom section, obviously the wedge has to come off. Obviously the bottom section is the same size, the top section is the same size. So all the bottom sections, and of course we're not looking at the base because that's the wedge. What we're looking at is the first or second cut, not the felling cut, but the first cut in its length at 15 feet 5 meters. Give or take, right, 1 inch, 2.5 centimeters. At this age, the ones that I've taken down, they will all be the same size, all of them. So these trees only actually get a growth of 13 to 14 weeks a year. That is their total growth pattern. And thankfully they're fast growing trees, so you know you can reach this size. How old are these? Well, I haven't aged them exactly, but I think they're 60 to 70 years old, and they're all planted in the same place, which is a young part of the forest. And I believe the reason for that is the forest part where I'm cutting from, the rest of it has been clear cut because it was very old trees, but I believe it was an easy section for the old timers to get to. And I also believe that the man whose land it is, his cabin, his house, was built from the trees that were removed to replant these 70 years ago. That's where I am with that. Anyway, probably a lot of old tosh really, but I do know that some of you like the information that I give while I'm giving. And we can see, when you put a log on a sawmill like this, it's got a wedge. If you just cut that level on there, right, you will never get the size that you can achieve from the log. So you wedge it up at this end. So you do a quick measurement on that end, split it. You do while you're learning. Can I wedge that up by eye? Yeah, and I'll show you how I do it. I use that, and I'll show you exactly how I do that in a minute. And I'll wedge it just because of my knowledge of the types of taper that the tree has on it at this age. Okay, I don't know if any of that made any sense. What I'm saying is the trees are the same size, so you're going to get the same size sections out of the tree whilst taking off the cord. So I'm basically debarking. If I knew exactly what I was going to use this for, would I still take, if I've got that much lumber? Yeah, because the sooner I get the bark off, the quicker the core wood starts to slowly dry and saves. With the bark on like this, right, that's starting to rot. That is, don't like that. You've got to air dry it, and the bugs are boring. And I found, I don't even know if I can find it now. Yeah, I can. Can trees just die and nobody knows why? Yeah, until you see this. This was one of the sick damaged trees that I took down. It had some funny damage about 10 feet up. All them lines there, right? They're boring beetles that will turn back into flies. Let's see if I can. And And this particular tree was absolutely riddled. Inside each one of these is a boring maggot, beetle. It's a maggot, right, and it bores into the timber. And this particular one, this is where it was damaged here. It was riddled with them. Eventually, a tree can become overwhelmed with that, and they're under the bark. Where a tree shows a weakness, they will bore in and yeah. Trees, same size. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. So I'm going to end up with two stacks. Stack of 7-inch, stack of 10-inch, stack of 250mm, stack of 170mm. And then from there I cut them down into what I want them. So we can see these two sections of birch here. When we cut them, we're going to have some really interesting grain in these. And if you haven't seen what I build with the birch, then you should go and check out one of the videos on the birch joinery, because they are spectacular. Right, okay, now we're going to do, we've done 5 second sections, now we're going to do another 4 bottom sections. You can see how I'm digging through the pile. They come off equally, and bottom, mid and top sections, and then I can dig through, and then I haven't got to really disrupt it. Somebody said about wedging my pile. Obviously, and I cut a lot of shit out of my videos. There's me wedges. So not only is that birch flat on the underside, which stops it from rolling, which was my key log whilst I was building, but then I've also got the wedges screwed in there so that I can... Was I confident to be able to unstack that without the wedges? Well, yeah, because your front wheels are up against it. Stops it from rolling. Anyway, I know they were only concerned about my health and well-being in case it rolled down and I was feeling too fat, too injured, or just too slow to do my Superman leap, which I think I can still do, just hurts a lot. Right, logs. Alrighty then. So this is the end of the second day, and when I say end, I'm restricting myself to 6 hours a day doing this. So I'm on my second 6-hour day, and I've got other things to do. So I can't spend 8-10 hours doing this because the grass is growing, the weeds are growing, there's other things to be done. Right, so where have I got to? Well, that's the row of 10 by 10s, 250 by 250 I did yesterday morning. So they're all 10-inch by 10-inch, 250mm by 250mm cants. And this other row. So I've got 4, 8, 10, I've got 14 of those, and then these, which are 170 by 170 millimeters. Now these ones here, these are 170s, these are 190s. The reason being is I think I can get 5 by 2s out of these, 2 bys, or 150 by 50. There. Right. And then I've got all this, which is all inch siding. I have explained this, right, just before you go, oh, it's not square. No, you don't need it to be square if it's your base layer. I have explained this. If you've got an edger, perfect. You can take it off the sawmill, put it through the edger, and you'll get nice straight boards. Or you've got to put them on their edge and try and straighten them and snap back. No, don't need to do any of that. Trust me, inch thick siding with a waney edge on as your first layer will last you 200 years. And since you ain't going to be alive for that long, it don't make no difference when you can't see it. So what I do is I turn one board one way and the other board upside down to clip the wedges, right? And I put wide battens over the top. And what I've got left to do all consist of wide battens. So it's board and board, if you like, as opposed to board and batten siding. But you don't have to waste time with this. And this is coming off as part of the slices when you're cutting on the sawmill. It's not for everybody. All I'm saying is it works for me. Right? Everything that I've board and battened, the base layer, is way in the edge. Comes straight off the sawmill like that, gets stacked, gets dried, goes up one way, one the other way, cover the gap. Simple. Okay, so I'm done for today. That's my 6 hours done. And yeah, we're chomping through the pile. It's coming. It's quite slow by itself. You know, it is quite slow by itself. But I'm in no rush. Now I've got it in the yard. It's just the sooner I get the bark off, the less damage the bugs are going to do. And I'm not turning all of that into cants. At some point, I'll be stopping and turning that into construction lumber. I need 6x2s. 6x2s. Right, 150 by 50, 6x2s. And I can turn that into any 2x. I'll be doing some of those, and then I'll be doing the top battening, which is going to be wide. Not sure if I'm going to do them. I'll probably do them 4-inch wide, probably 4-inch, 100mm wide, probably. Yeah, that's for this building over here, and whatever else I need. So, what we don't know, we're preserving in cants. What we do know, we'll be turning into packs. However, we're a little ways from that. And I've got several packs going because rather than sort them, I'm just pulling them out as they are. They're the only birch. We've only got 2 birch over there to board up. But we do have spruce in there, and all of that will be going for siding. So you can, there's a spruce, there's a spruce, there's a spruce, there's another spruce. There is spruce in there which I cut deliberately for siding. But yeah, we're doing all right. We are doing all right. Some of the bigger stuff, some of the really big ones, they didn't all come from the same property. So the property where the spruce came from, which was down in the valley, right, that's kind of all that there. This here, which is slightly bigger, came from a different property. Right. Anyway, that's it for today. We'll see you in the morning. So here we are next morning. Still early. It's around 1000 hours. I cut more of both sides and split my packs. So there's my midsections. 8 3/4 inch or 190. And these are my big sections, 10 inch, 250mm. I've got an odd pack there, which is the first ones I cut up, which vary in sizes. There's my outer boards, that's all gaining strength. You can see the stack is diminishing over there. My next job this morning, because I want to move the last of the firewood, is to cut up these 2 birch. Now you can see the pile there, slowly going down. Rubbish. Okay, so you know we like cutting up the old birch because it's the only thing different we've got. I mean, see that's got some nice marks in there, which means it's going to open up with some nice colour and some nice grain in it, that is. Now I'm just going to slab these up because I don't know what I'm doing with them. Some of you will remember last year us cutting up the birch. We got some birch in there slabbed, and then there's that birch down there slabbed, and I tend to cut it into 2.5 inch board by whatever decent width, and then get some weight on it. There's some nice stuff in there that even with the weight on it though, look at the way it's curled at the ends. It's a shame. You couldn't even call it a semi-hardwood. Could you call it a semi-hardwood? No, not really. Anyway, it's the nearest thing I've got to anything hard. I'd build everything out of oak if I could, but there's no oak here, so we can't. Right. If you only know what I used to do for a living, it's a shame I should get this excited about a bit of birch. Anyway, that's all I got to say. But that's what we're after. Look at that. That's exactly what we're after. Different colours, different shades, nothing straight, nothing uniform. It's a little bit of rot in there. Right, well, what worries me is where that rot is there. That's the top of that. So we could find ourselves with a rotten core, because I don't see why that should be rotten halfway up. Anyway, it's savable at the moment. Yeah, we got some rot in there. Okay. It is savable at the moment, provided I get it airing fast. Yeah, it's soft. Don't pick it out, Simon, because you can repair that. Okay. I knew the inside of this would be good. There we go. That's what we want. So when we turn these into whatever we're going to turn them into, and we've obviously made all the worktops that we need. I need splashbacks, but whatever we turn them into, they're going to be spectacular. Wouldn't that make a awesome worktop? Yeah. Anyway, okay, that's the top section of that. Let's see what's in that. I've got a feeling we're going to encounter more rot than we need, but that's nice. I'm glad I decided not to cut the bottom off because it's not that rotten. Yeah, maybe the heartwood's good. Okay, there's some nice birch boards. I might have to do away with these top teak because I want to put a lot of weight on that. Well, that's all I've got for you today. There'll be plenty more on the sawmill. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you for joining me. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.